My name is Miguel Lopez. I'm an assistant editor here at GameSpot VG, and we're going to be talking about Devil May Cry today. It's Shin Mikami's latest game, Shin Mikami being the creator of the Resident Evil series. And to tell you the truth, it couldn't be a more direct departure from what he's been doing for, 5-6 years now.
The castle is above this cliff. Come on, let's go!
I guess the main difference is the control scheme. Resident Evil is very confined, very tight. Your character moves like, one of the tanks from combat. Just sort of like, pivot and move, pivot and move. This game actually utilizes a true 3D control scheme, kind of like Metal Gear Solid. The character you control, his name is Dante. He's actually half human, half demon, just kind of a cool hybrid. He's part devil, and he's a very visceral character to control. He's very fast. He could jump. He could do like a Strider Hiryu style double jump off a wall. He has a host of attacks he can bust out with as well. He has, his father's sword. His father being this ancient demon hunter. He could do a variety of attacks with the sword. He could just like lunge forward with it. He could bust out with like a 3-hit combo. He can actually scoop enemies up, and as he's also equipped with guns, while the enemies are in the air after being scooped up, he can just like juggle them with gunshots, which is one of the cooler aspects of the game. Also, depending on how long you hold down the triangle button, which is a sword button, he'll also jump up and sort of like an air combo, just smack the guy right back down. So it's kind of rare to see a game like this, so sort of like a 3D action game with like a depth of control, that intense. Actually, along the lines of fighting games, Capcom has done a lot of fighting games, and you could tell that they've taken some cues from that sort of thing when designing this character's control scheme. Dante's coolest power, though, is definitely the Devil Mode. Right under his health bar, you'll see there's going to be this line of runes under these blue runes, and as you fight enemies, they'll just gradually fill up. Once they're full, if you hit the L1 button, he'll turn into a demon. What will happen is he'll be surrounded by this like crackling blue energy, kind of like what Emperor Palpatine used to smite Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi. And when he's transformed, all of his attacks do more damage, and when he takes certain sword swings, you'll see like an aspect of demon about him, and he'll just look sort of like dark and sort of charcoaly. What's great though is if you perform a double jump while you're in that mode, he'll actually turn into some flying demon, and he'll just bombard all enemies everywhere with crackling blue energy. It's like super damaging, and it's easily one of the more powerful attacks in the game. It's quite a pleasure to behold. A secret in the demo is that if you collect 999 red orbs, you can go through the entire demo in Devil Mode, which is, it's quite an experience. The game does bring to mind an experience very, very close to what you've played in the old Castlevania games, and you can easily see where people have made the analogy in terms of action. There's a lot of the same thing going on, a lot of like platform jumping, a lot of exploration, very, very large, sprawled out, non-linear levels that the character just sort of like traverses in order to find out where he has to go, what you have to do, what items unlock what, and such. Character designs, I guess the comparison is inescapable. Dante himself, sort of, it could be argued that he's based on Alucard, or, some kind of subtle tribute to Alucard, or, perhaps it's just influenced by him. It's almost as if Capcom is telling Konami, yo, this is how it's done, this is how you execute your franchise in 3D.
What a big surprise. I hope for your sake you got something inside that big body of yours.
It is a type of demo that would warrant picking up just on its own accord. It's there's a lot to do in it, and while if you know what you're doing, you could go through it in 5 minutes. Just as this is the case with the Metal Gear Solid demo. There's a lot to do. You could just linger around and fight, and the character's moves are open from the beginning, so you'll have a lot of time experimenting with that. This game is due out in the later part of this year, and it will be included in the Resident Evil Code Veronica Complete version in demo form for the PS2. So, I urge you guys to check it out. It's a really cool game.